Let's go. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's another episode of Leverage. I've got Pavel with me. He's the CEO of Virtudesk. If you need a virtual assistant, you know where to go. And today, Pavel, we've got a special guest with us. Dude, we've been having like special guests.
I know, dude. Seriously, this is episode number 50, I think.
Well, man, it's just
we got a milestone.
We do. Here we go.
We got this bromance going on for a while, you know.
We're wearing the same shirts now.
Yeah.
That's where it's gotten.
Exactly.
And we've got Sarah. Sarah, thank you so much for jumping in. You're from Miami, real estate agent there. You have an amazing presence on social media and in Miami. We were just talking how Pavel might use you as your real estate agent. Pavel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
That's if I don't fire him.
As long as she doesn't fire me.
That's right. Sarah, tell us a little bit about your business there and how long you've been an agent.
Okay, so for people to know, I'm not the type of person, like the type of agent that grew up in Miami. I ended up in Miami against my will. Well, not against my will, but it's a long story, but I ended up in Miami 7.5 years ago, and I did not know one person. I only had one friend. Her name's Paola. She's still my friend, but she didn't live in Miami. She lived in Broward, which, you know, for me, it was over an hour and a half away. So I had no friends, I had nobody. And then, you know, when I became a realtor, which everyone asked me, why the heck would you become a realtor? Well, I'm from Montreal, Canada, and I used to work in mortgages. So I always wanted to be a realtor, but I was too scared to do it full time. And then I was scared, you know, because I had my cute little job at the bank and everything in mortgages. And then when I came to Miami, I already didn't know anyone. And all the realtors I met and the real estate experience that I've had were really bad. And I said, okay, let me just try. You know, I have nothing to lose. So I really started off at the bottom. No, not one client. I remember I started at KW when they were like, hey, call the people that you know to let them know that you're a realtor. And I'm like, okay, I have to call people in Canada, right? So, so yeah, I really started at the bottom and I started door knocking, cold calling, doing all the things they tell you to do because I had no choice. All
right. Well, and now you've been doing so great on social. I mean, I think a lot of what you do, people can connect with you so much because you put a lot out there that's just you. And I feel like, because I've been following you since we met, I don't even remember where we met. It was a while back. A long
time ago.
And I was like, okay, I'll follow her. And then I'm like, I got to like you even more. It's like, it's so enjoyable, Sarah. Tell us about how you've gotten more comfortable with social media, because that's where your business comes from.
It does. And I actually started with social media because at the beginning of my career, I didn't have a marketing budget. I didn't have money. I couldn't send out postcards. I remember even for my photography, for my listings, I didn't have the money for it. And I had to ask lenders to pay for it. And I told them, you know, I'll put you on the flyers. I've always been a hustler in that way, right? So I would tell lenders to pay for my photography and any marketing, I just couldn't afford it, or I would work with title companies. So what I figured out was that, okay, what is free? What can I do that's free except door knocking, right? And at the time, Instagram was doing really well. And I said, okay, let me go on Facebook and let me focus on Instagram as well because it's free. And without even realizing it, I was documenting my journey. I documented the first listing that I got. I documented my first closing, even my first pre-construction. I just shared everything and I would share it as a story. And I realized that people loved that. And again, at the time, people didn't talk about social media like now. I'm talking about 6 years ago. And just me being an open book, I even had people tell me, hey, you shouldn't tell your business out there like that. Or you shouldn't talk about, because then people are going to start calculating your commission. And I just never cared what anyone said because I'm like, you know what, it's working. So whatever you tell me, you know, unless you come and pay my bills and pay my rent, right?
That's right.
It's working.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that is the key. We sometimes feel like we have to listen to those people around us, even though they're not living our life.
The veteran realtors were the ones that were like, oh, you're crazy. And then a year later, they were the ones asking me to help them with their social media. So.
All right.
Yeah,
so
especially those realtors would tell you, I've been in the business for 25, 26 years.
Yeah, 25 years. There was no
Yeah,
Facebook.
when I hear that, I'm like, oh, okay, so you hinting me at how old you are or what?
Right.
So
Right.
Sarah,
No, the thing with social media too is that I realized that people love reality TV, right?
Mhm.
These are the shows that are doing the best, right? So social media is like your reality TV that people are watching.
I like that. So how do you mix your business into it? What's that mix that you have? Because there's both. I see both.
So basically, at the beginning, I had another Instagram, which was only personal, which I've had since the beginning of Instagram. And then I created a separate Instagram that was all for business. And I realized that my personal Instagram, although I would never post anything about business, whatever I would post, I would get way more engagement on my personal one than on my business one. Because my business one, I did the mistake of posting the just sold, the houses only, not a lot about myself. And I realized that I had almost no engagement. I would get a couple of likes, but not as much engagement as I would want to. And just because my personal Instagram I've had it for such a long time, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to start deleting things and whatnot. What I decided, I'm like, okay, let me try once in a while on my business page to post more personal things, posting my daughter once in a while, posting a photo of me once in a while. And then once I started doing that again on my business page, which was my full name, not like my cute little Instagram name I had back then, right? I put my full name. Once I started doing that, I realized that I would get way more engagement. So even now when I look, whenever I'm in a photo, my engagement is either if I'm in a photo or a client or my daughter's in a post or in a story or whatnot, I believe last time I checked, it was 4 times more engagement.
Wow.
It's pretty
All
good.
right.
Yeah.
And for
Yeah.
those of you wondering what she is on Instagram, her handle is Sarah Desamore, just like her name right there.
Yeah, I
Right.
actually put my Instagram name on my name. So just my full name just together.
And you also, Sarah, you also
Desamore.
put in the profile, you have your name, you have Miami real estate agent. So that's number 2. You have a luxury sales, listings, pre-construction investments, right? And then you also have a link to Linktree. Tell me about that and why you have that there.
Okay, so you know how a lot of times you'll post on your story or you'll do a post and you'll write link in bio. If you only put one link in your bio, let's say you have a listing, then when people are going to go, that's all they're going to have. I decided to just use Linktree, and there's other systems like that where I can put my Calendly where people can book me. I can put articles I've been featured in. I can put my Facebook business page. I can put whatever website it is that could be relevant to your audience or even to your clients, because clients will look at your Instagram. People look, even you, like if you get referred to anyone for a business, you're going to look at their Instagram or their Facebook, right? So I put all relevant links, even if it was a cool article I was featured in or whatnot, I'll put anything relevant there.
I like that. And it's easier for people to identify where you work. They can contact you through there. It's super. There's no leaving it to who is this person? What does she do for a living?
How can
right?
I reach her or whatnot? Even with all of that, I still have people that are like, how can I reach you?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's those older agents that were telling you shouldn't be doing this.
Oh
That's
yeah, and all of this stuff during the pandemic. That's what really hit people that weren't using social media.
You know what's cool, Sarah?
I bet. Yeah.
I Google you. If anybody wants to Google her right now, so the very first thing that pops up is your Google My Business page on my mobile phone, on my mobile device. And the second thing is your Instagram.
Oh, good. Perfect.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The third thing is Facebook. But the cool thing about this is that Google My Business, at the very top, I have all of your information, your website, your phone number. And if you wanted to go into Instagram, I have all your information there too. So, and I can decide, wow, do I want to work with Sarah? And when you see it, you're like, of course I do. So tell us about your planning on what you do for social media, because a lot of people overthink the content they put out. Anything that you can help in regards to the content?
Okay. Well, there's 2 things I'd like to talk about. The first one is you're not just selling real estate, you're selling your lifestyle. You're selling your city. You're
That's
selling,
true. Yeah.
right? So
Somebody wants to buy a condo in Brickell, that's pretty much buying a lifestyle, not exactly those
basically,
4
and
walls.
even if it's a house in a suburban area or whatnot, right?
Yeah.
I'm always sharing restaurants that I'm going to. I'm always sharing cafes. I'm always sharing what I'm doing, even when I go kickboxing, whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, some people say, well, it might be unsafe or whatever it is, but I'm always in public. Those are all public places. It's not like I'm somewhere where someone can just walk up to me and whatnot, right? And anyways, we live in a day and age where even if you want to protect your privacy and post a restaurant, take the story and post it after when you leave, right? At the end of
Yeah.
the day, you're selling a lifestyle. You want to show people what it's like to live where you live because they're not just buying a house. Yeah, they're going to be home, but they're also going to be doing groceries. They're going to be taking a fitness class. They're going to be eating at whatever it is. You want to share what it's like to live there, and you want to make it in a very positive way. Or like I do sometimes, I make fun of things, right? Like I'll be like, hey guys, look at the crazy traffic, like just funny things, but more positive than negative, right? So that's the number one thing that I do. And that is not really planned. I really just document whatever I find that's cool during the day. Even in the mornings, if people follow me, I do the 5 a.m. club. A lot of times I'll just show the view, just to show people, hey, like you wake up in the morning and that's the view that you have, right?
Yeah.
I
So,
like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
so the lifestyle part of it is really, really important for me. And another thing is when it comes to content, when it comes to real estate, for me, I just realized, okay, what do I want to sell? What do I enjoy selling? What kind of clients do I like to work with? I've identified that over the years. There's always, we work with everyone, but we'll have clients that we like working with more than others, right? And I try to focus my social media posts on these ones. I've always liked luxury. I've always liked condos. I've always loved pre-construction. Although I help people at every price point, at any type of properties. But because those are the things that I like the most, you're going to see most of my real estate posts about that.
I like that. All right. So then let's talk about when people reach out to you, is it through the comments? Is it through DM? How do you create the relationships with these people so that they can use you?
Okay, well, I get a mix of a lot of things. I prefer when people actually email me. That's usually the best way because I have my full-time assistant who has access to my email as well. I prefer that they email me, but I can't, I have people that they have no idea, they'll just DM me. And usually the first thing that I do, I'm like, okay, great, let you, even if they want to talk to me, hey, do you have 5 minutes to talk? Do you have 10, 15 minutes to talk? I tell them, listen, I start talking to them about what they're looking for and whatnot. And then based on that, the first thing I do, I ask them for their phone number and their email. And I'll have my assistant or myself, depending on the time, I'll create a Calendly invite to actually schedule a call with them. It's not just like I pick up the phone and then that's it, right? Because then let's say you call them and then a day goes by and you got a lot of calls. You might lose the phone number, you might forget what they talked about, whatever it is. I like to use systems to just have things to keep things organized.
That's a very good trait to have, Sarah. That's really good because if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
So
No.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I like the client too, it shows them that we're more professional as well. It just shows them that, okay, I have systems, I'm more organized, and this is a serious matter. What I've noticed is when I do that and clients are not really responsive, then they probably weren't serious. If people
That's
are
true.
willing to go through the entire process of booking a phone consultation, or a lot of times what I'll do, I'll even just send them the link and I'm like, okay, based on what you told me, you need a buyer consultation, here's the link. Feel free to choose whatever time is convenient for you.
Mhm.
I like that. All right. So let's talk a little bit about that because you're also using leverage through technology, right? And also through people. You have a virtual assistant. I have here some notes of what you use. You have Trello, Google Drive, KV Core, and those are just some of the things that you're using. Can you tell me the tech stack that you're using that you can remember, and then how your virtual assistant is helping you with those?
Okay, so for me, Calendly is a big one because this is my booking, and I'm actually paying for Calendly because when you take the free version, you only get one appointment slot. And I wanted to categorize my appointment slots because some calls are longer than others. And I work with a lot of people that are not from America. They're from either Canada or another country. So it's a whole different conversation. It's usually a longer conversation. So I think having Calendly, or I'm actually looking at other systems. I always like to look at what else is out there to see if I can get better. I know there's Acuity as well. That's another one that I know about that I'm looking into, but I think it's important to categorize your appointments. That way people are not just booking like a 15-minute call, and then it's going to be an hour call because your time is really valuable. So that's one that I use. I use Trello. I don't know how to.
Trello, you got it.
Trello, yeah.
I use that for all my checklists and to work with my assistants, because and that's one thing that I did that I think if anyone could take anything away from today, is take the time to write down all of your processes in a perfect world. Right? So in a perfect world, let's say you were the client and you had a realtor. What would you like that realtor to do? Like, just like, what would be like the top notch for you to fall on the floor? Like, oh my God, this realtor is amazing. Write down the processes from start to finish. Let's say when you have a buyer, when you have a seller, when you get a referral from a realtor, which is another process that I have, right? So what, in a perfect world, what would it be? And then create checklists for that. Because what happens is when you get an assistant, they can help you with all of these things that you probably don't have time for.
All right. And here's a couple of questions
that.
on that.
Yeah.
So I don't forget. It's Gabby. What's up, Gabby? What are some tools and apps you connect on social media aside from Calendly? Anything else?
For my social media, to be honest with you, I do everything organically. Everything is organic. The only thing is we use Canva for all the posts and for the stories, even the interactive stories, which people think I pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, which I don't. And if I need to do something more elaborate, I'll go on Fiverr and find someone that's really good at that.
You know what stands out?
Any third party or anything to connect my social media, because that actually, I heard, that's why I've never even tried it. I heard that it lowers engagement.
Yeah, it does. And I'm going to pause really quick just to talk to Pavel about you, Sarah.
Sure.
Pavel, one thing that I noticed and that I love about Sarah is she's extremely authentic, and she almost oversimplified it for us. It's like, hey, don't overthink it here, right?
She definitely does. Yeah. And I really admired about her. I just checked out her IG. It looks like we've been following each other. But yeah, a really good engagement going on, and really nice postings there you got going on. And Sarah, I mean, I like your engagement. Engagement is through the roof, which is great, because of how authentic you are. I think that's just, people like that.
That's the key. I think she finally got to the point years back where she said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to post what I'm doing on a daily basis and then mix in what I do for a living. So that's what I love. Sarah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that, it seems like I'm oversimplifying it, but when you get to the point that you can hire help for that, of course, I'm posting some of the stuff. I do have a group page for my team as well. But most of the stuff that is posted on the group page, I'll repost it on my page as well, or I'll use it for my story. And I just have my assistant create a lot of the stuff, but I helped her create the templates so that everything follows my brand and the look that I'm looking for, right? That's really important to me, just the brand and the look.
Well, Sarah, there's a quote by Steve Jobs that he says that simple is harder than complex. So there's a lot to what you're doing that you're just doing automatic. And people need to go and take a look at what you're doing on Instagram, because I always tell people, and Pablo and I always talk about this, but like, people are always saying they want to be where the consumer is. And when you look at where Instagram is and social media, it's 4 out of the top 5 sites in the world are social media sites. And yet people are still not gravitating to there to find the consumer. So for me, you're doing it extremely, extremely well. The thing that I want to ask you is, in regards to your business, what else are you adding? Are you adding TikTok? Are you adding YouTube? What does this look like in the next year for you?
So I really wanted to switch my focus to video a lot. And what's really funny about that, we were talking about before when I had no budget, I made those really bad videos back then. Like, if you look at my YouTube, you'll see, like, I think they're horrible. Some people think they're great, but I look at it and I'm like, oh my God, that was so bad. I get leads from that to this day. I get leads from those really bad videos I made back then. At the end of the day, the quality is great. but just putting something out there and being on video, people love that. So I actually spent a lot of time last year filming a lot of videos. So you guys are gonna have I put one out last week when I'm making fun of how fake materialistic some people are in Miami, right? It's true. It's true. It's
Oh yeah, I
actually
know.
a video. It's a really funny video. And again, even for the videos, I did a mix of just me being myself and just making fun of things and being funny, and also talking about real estate and the do's and don'ts, and just a mix of things, right? So I didn't take months to do that. I just took a couple of days where all days I would film so that I would have content for the entire year. So I really want to focus a lot on Reels. I want to focus a lot on YouTube and putting out better videos, right? Because I'm thinking even if the bad ones brought me people, right? And I'm talking really good clients, right? Imagine the good ones.
Mhm.
So hold on, what does better quality videos mean to you?
Okay, better lighting, more rehearsed, right?
Oh, okay.
Right?
So you want to
Not freestyling.
mix in some of the spontaneous with
Exactly.
some more planning. So kind of mixing both.
So you
I-
do. So do you like just winging it, or you like to prep and rehearse it?
Well,
And
I just thought that at the time that I did those videos, I wasn't as comfortable with English, and I wasn't as comfortable just being in front of a camera. So it shows. I find that when I look back,
your first language is French, right?
my mother tongue is French. So
Yeah.
just found that I wasn't as comfortable, especially in front of the camera as well. But with time and practice, you get better. And I feel like I'm better now. So, but I'm still not going to delete them. I'm leaving them. People can see my journey.
I love it. See,
Yeah.
that's the part that's the Sarah that I like, right? It's like
Yeah.
here I am. I love that. We have a couple of questions for you.
We do.
Robert Garcia, by the way, he's awesome. Robert, what's up, buddy?
He's a cool dude. Yeah.
He says, how do you connect with leads after a lead submits a request through your site? Do you have your VA check the leads on social media portals, or do you send these leads a friend request?
Okay, so at first, I like to. Okay, remember before I talked about having a checklist about what would be the best customer service experience. I'll just give you guys an example. One time I was looking for a makeup artist when I spoke on stage for Tom Ferry. I was looking for a makeup artist, and people gave me their Instagram, and I messaged a couple of makeup artists, and a lot of them didn't respond. A lot of them didn't even, or just responded to something like very unprofessional. And the one that I chose, I noticed that he had a whole system for that. And for me, it's very important to have a system too. The same way that I said, okay, if a lead messages me, I am personally going to, if they message me on my page, I manage it. On my group page, my assistant manages it. But we'll ask a couple of just preliminary questions to make sure that we can help them, first of all. Because I have people that are like, hey, yeah, I'm going to be looking for a property in Florida. I'm like, okay, like very easy. Hey, are we talking about Miami and Fort Lauderdale? Because these are the areas I work in, right? So just asking a couple of preliminary questions, and then from there, following whatever checklist it is that you have for a new client. And I think that a lead from social media is way better than just a random internet lead, because these are people that followed your page. These are people that looked at your stuff. It's a much lower hanging fruit than like a random online lead that might even give you like a fake phone number or fake email. Like these are people that literally reached out to you. So you have to treat them like a new client.
Yeah, they feel like they have a connection with you because they already know who you are. It's like, oh yeah,
Who you are.
right.
Mhm.
Sarah, I feel like the leads that we get from social are like review leads, like from Yelp, or somebody who knows you through those reviews. Like, oh, I love this person. Let me reach out to them.
And another thing with social that is like, realtors need to like understand how powerful realtor connections are. A lot of the referrals I'm talking about come from other realtors, because other realtors will follow you, and then you're going to become like their Miami person or their New York person because they love what you're putting out there. And almost weekly, I get a referral from another realtor. And I treat a whole other checklist for when I get a referral from another realtor. I want to make them feel ultra special, and I want to make sure that they're recognized for sending a referral.
All right.
Yeah, because they want to make sure that you're actually taking care of their client. Yeah.
Well, not
Yes.
just
Yeah,
them,
exactly.
of them too.
And providing the level of service that they would have provided to their clients. So yeah,
I'm
big
gonna show
time.
you something. Like, I'll even shout out that realtor on my page because I want to give them
Ooh.
attention that they gave me, because I'm like, thanks for doing that. And I'll do posts like this one, my collab posts, where I actually post
Oh, nice.
posts,
Nice.
right? So I'm not saying anything new because those are public things on my page that people can see, but I think it's really important. You know, realtor referrals are huge for me.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's so good,
And
Sarah. I love that.
Florida, Florida real estate ain't getting any cheaper or less in demand.
And everyone is moving to Florida. And
I know. I just bought 3 houses last year in Florida.
what, like, what? How come you didn't call me?
Sarah, that
Oh, I will. Maybe I will.
there you go. There you go. Sarah, Pablo, this isn't the last time we're gonna have Sarah on the show. There you go.
Oh, you
Oh, I
think?
know that.
I love it. Here's one other question. I know I missed one, and let me see where it is. Here it is. It's this. Ken says, if you're going to build your brand on Instagram, well, if you were going to build it on Instagram again, what's the one thing that you would be focusing on above everything else?
If I were going to rebuild my brand, or
Yeah. If you were going to rebuild it, or if you started from scratch?
I would figure out what my ideal client is. And I feel like early on, it's very important to focus on that, because what you focus on, it can, right? Figure out, again, everything I'm telling you is in a perfect world, but you can make any perfect world happen. That's how I look at it. When I was posting luxury and all these things at the beginning of my career, I did not have one luxury client, but I was very consistent in posting that. And eventually it started attracting that clientele.
That's probably the best advice I've heard in a while in regards to social media. We never think of who our target audience is. So we never know who we're speaking to when we do videos or when we post. Very, very good advice, Sarah.
Also, your target audience, I'm talking as realtors, think about other realtors as well. If you were going to get a realtor referral, I'm in Miami, okay? I get referrals from everywhere, but I know that if a realtor from LA or from New York is sending me a referral, what's the price point in LA? What's the price point in New York? The price points are very high. Anyone coming from LA or New York, they're going to buy for over $1 million here, right? So for me, it's like, hey, who can I follow in LA? Who can I engage with as a realtor in LA or in New York or wherever it is that works for you? Who can I engage with? And it's not just following other realtors or following other people. You actually have to engage with them. You have to respond to their stories. You have to comment their stuff. And that, by doing that, I became friends online with a lot of realtors from all around the world. So
I love it. Sarah, I'll be sending you referrals for sure. So I'm in LA, Malibu. So
I have to see. My mom lives in LA. I'm there all the time.
oh, we've got to have lunch when you come down. So
yeah.
There you go. Pablo, see, you're missing out, damn it.
I know, right? Seriously. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying this. And I tell people I'm an open book, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You have to also, oh, by the way, somebody asked what lowers engagement. I discussed that when you hire a third party, like I forgot the names. I don't want to put any company
like Hootsuite or Buffer. Yeah, Hootsuite or Buffer or something like that.
So when you're posting from those things directly, it lowers engagement. You're going to show up less on people's feeds. Your stories are not going to show up at the beginning for people, and just
so Instagram is catching up to this algorithm, and so it's better to actually post from your own account.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what you can do, you can. I think it comes to the same thing, because what's cool about Instagram is that you can save things as drafts.
You can. Now you can. They copied TikTok on that, which I love.
You can save your as draft. Same for reels, same for stories and whatnot. Not for stories. I'm sorry. Reels and posts, you can save them as drafts, and then you can just have a calendar and like a reminder on Google Calendar to just post, which is what I do.
Yeah. Well, that's one of. And that's actually one of the reasons our marketing virtual assistants post from our account, from actual Instagram account, instead of using some platform to post, because we know about this engagement thing. You know, that's why.
Sarah, one of the things that we do is besides shooting on my phone natively, right? When we want to plan out higher quality, I bust out my DSLR, my Sony, right? My Sony mirrorless camera, and I shoot. And then our VA team, they edit and they piece it together in under a minute with no music, right? Just me talking. And then I upload it into TikTok or Instagram, and I choose the
I like
music.
that. Yeah, that's great too, because you can use the same video, the same reel to put it on TikTok. I have to get better with TikTok. So I'm doing much better on Instagram and Reels, but I know TikTok is huge. There's people that are killing it on TikTok. It's just a different audience.
You're gonna kill it on TikTok. Come on,
My
your
kid,
reels are
my,
awesome.
my 12-year-old son is killing it on TikTok. He's got a viral video for 3.5 million views.
Oh my God. Wow.
I know, and this is just a gaming stuff, like some game that they play, and I have no idea what it is, and I couldn't really comprehend. It's just beyond my comprehension. How come my 12-year-old got a 3.5 million views on one of his stupid videos, you know?
Yeah, but we think it's a stupid thing, but he's just doing what he likes at the end of the day.
Seriously,
Like,
yeah.
that you're yourself, like anything that's too arranged or too staged or too, people just think it's like the engagement. It's not like back in the days where things had to be all perfect for everything. Now people want to see the process. They want to see you. They want to see without, as women, they want to see us without makeup. They want to see us just more normal, right? Or just
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
normal
Exactly.
things.
Good
So
point.
people like that. I don't know. It is. I like that too.
Well, look, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for joining us. You cover Miami.
Thank you. Yeah.
All of Miami. So any referrals, it's easy to find her. I mean, I just Googled her and I found her. So
And not
anytime.
just my brokerage, we're in Tampa as well. So we're all over South Florida. We're in Tampa, Orlando. And if anyone needs a referral, almost anywhere in the world, I have a good realtor. So
I love it. Thank you for joining us. Sarah, we appreciate you. And Pavel will now highly consider using you in Miami.
Exactly. Well, because I'm looking for house number 4 and number 5 as well. So
I'm here.
Pavel, leave some houses for me, man. Jeez.
I know, right? Seriously, dude. No, this Airbnb thing has been going on, pretty good for me over there. So
appreciate it, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Sarah.
My pleasure. It was
have an awesome day.
All
right.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.